Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 42 of the Showbound podcast. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, here with San Jose Sharks prospect Ethan Cardwell, back at home.
back in home.
Hot start here early. Let's go. What's up, Cards?
Not much, bro. It feels good to be back in home. Yeah, it was so much fun, dude, getting down there. Just kind of seeing San Jose for the first time, meeting all the guys. Great time. Obviously, everyone kind of got a quick little update from last week's episode with Oz, and like I had a super fun time rooming with him, and like I said, meeting all the guys and just getting my first taste of like what the NHL is all about and stuff. And obviously, it's a small sample size when you take into consideration it's only dev camp, but just to see how you're treated there, like just so professional. Like the meals are just second to none. Like the hotel itself is just gorgeous. So I mean, I can't thank San Jose enough for that first little taste of it. I'm looking forward to going back to rookie tournament and then hopefully main camp for a little bit before I get the season rolling in Barrie. But no, man, I got a busy week ahead, and I think we both do. So we kind of jammed in this pod, but I'm super happy the way it turned out. It was awesome, and everyone can get a good feel on Seattle.
Well, yeah,
Rask,
drop our guest since you're touching on it now.
I might as well. So, third round draft pick of the Seattle Kraken, Ryan Winterton, Whitby/Brooklyn native. But yeah, no, he's one of my good buddies. So great to have him on and get a feel for the Kraken organization. But no, it was awesome, and I'm gonna be real busy this week. I got my birthday coming up actually, as we mentioned last week, 19th birthday. So super exciting there. I mean, it's on a Monday night in Barrie, so there won't be much to do. I won't even be with my family, but hey, um, looking forward to camp. I'm moving in on Sunday actually, or Saturday or Sunday. I got new billets this year because of some other circumstances that went down. So gonna go meet them, and and hopefully everything goes well. I'm just pumped to get back to Barrie, dude. I think we're gonna be nasty too, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, and there's so many follow-up things I want to ask just from that. So I'm gonna kind of just go what's in my head. But first of all, do you have any roommates in Barrie, or are you on your own there?
I'm gonna live on my own. I live like as you know, I lived with Kosk and Sag, and then ever since I came to Barrie, I've been on my own. Who knows? Like I don't know. I've never met my billets before or anything yet, so I think I'm gonna go meet him later this week, and then you never know if like we add a guy to the team or something, and I'm like buddies with
Yeah.
him, and if they have room. But like I'm not against having a guy with me. Like I love it. So
Yeah. Okay, so I want to bring it back to Sharks Camp, not something we can skip over. Actually, before we talk about Sharks Camp, let's let the listeners know what we have going on this week, what we're doing.
Mhm.
So we Cardsy and I have teamed up with a few big media companies, and this week we're gonna start off by we're participating in this conference basically for young people who want to pursue journalism, podcasting, like being an entertainer, YouTuber, whatever it is. We're essentially speaking in this conference in front of thousands of people, like on Zoom or whatever it is, and we're talking about ourselves, Showbound, and taking a lot of fan questions and talking about everything and just kind of talk. Like there's not really like we can just shoot the shit. That's all I really want, and then take some questions, and that'll be cool. And then on the weekend after, where they're doing this competition for the people who were at the conference, they can submit videos or something of what they want to do and like a sample of what they are pursuing or something. And Cardsy and I are the so-called celebrity judges. I hate to say celebrity judges when we refer to us because I don't feel like a celebrity. We're not, but we're the celebrity judges for this thing, and we get to like critique and rate these things. And there's going to be a winner that gets a bunch of money, and they're giving us a scorecard or something to fill out, but we get to record a video, and then everyone gets to watch the video of us, and we can chirp them. We can do whatever we want. They said it's like we can just be truly ourselves. There's no limiting us. We can do whatever. So we
That's
got some
awesome,
cool stuff going on this week.
bro. We're gonna be ruthless on there. Just start ripping people apart.
Yeah, it'll be really funny. I'm excited to expand, and you know what? It's gonna bring new listeners to our show too, and that's also what we want. We want to keep growing, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But anyway, let's talk about San Jose. So I watched the prospects scrimmage. They, for those who don't know, like everyone at the camp was kind of split in half. They played against each other in a game. It was really cool in the SAP Center. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in where the Sharks play, big rink. It was sick. unfortunately no fans, but I think there was a lot of people watching it because there was a little chat function thing on the live stream and everyone was going crazy in the chat. And I sent you a Snapchat. I was like firing up "Go Cardwell" in the chat repeatedly. Um, but I was watching it. It was really entertaining. There was a fight, sick shootout goal. You were a plus a little bit. I can't remember exactly, but you played well. Except your first period, man. Honestly,
That
I'm
was
being
brutal. I
I'm
was
just being
brutal.
honest.
I don't know. I hadn't played a game since March.
You could tell too that it was just sloppy, not just you in general. In the first period, passes were being missed. Like there was a lot, but yeah, continue on.
Yeah, nobody had been skating on that ice for a while too, so the ice was a little choppy. So like in that sense, like I'm a type of guy who like I like to move the puck. Like I'm normally crisp with that stuff. Like that's like the good part of my game. Like I'm known as like a skill guy, so I'm gonna make these plays. And like in the first, I just wasn't making these plays. Like I was shooting grenade passes everywhere. Pucks were bouncing on me. Maybe gripping the stick a little tight. But after the first, I felt like I settled into the game real well. And then our whole team too, like we were down 1-0 in the first for those who don't know, and then we scored 8 unanswered and won 8-1. So it was just like a bad first period for our whole team, and then we just kind of turned on the Jets.
Yeah, it was you got that I think an early plus in the second. You were kind of parked in front of the net, and then the confidence maybe came back. And that poor goalie, bro, like the that one who came in for the teal team in the second period, he gave up like 3 goals in a minute, and I felt so bad because he's there like trying out too, and he was just getting lit up, and they weren't really his fault, but that was
Oh
a
man,
sick game. It
yeah,
was sick.
it was cool, and just to like be able to play on that ice, the little introductions, and not to like pass over the fact that like the Sharks kind of pumped our pod on there too. And I
Oh
know
yeah.
maybe I'll let you talk about that a bit because you actually watched it.
Yeah, I was watching. I kind of knew it was coming because every like commercial break, because there was no commercials, they would cut to their. I guess he's their broadcaster. I assume he's listening to the podcast because he referred to a lot of things that we talked about on here. So hello, um, but he's just he talked. He was giving little highlights on certain players on the team, and then one of them was he's like Ethan Cardwell, and the second I heard him say is more than just a hockey player, I took my phone out. I start recording. I knew he was gonna start pumping the pod, and he's talking about the podcast, where to find it, all that stuff. Talked about who you'd like to interview on the Sharks, and that was really cool that they're taking notice of that, that they're supporting it and pumping it. And um, I was just fired the whole game. I was fired up. Like I posted on my Insta story and tagged you. It was just so cool, man. Seeing you skate out on that ice, I screamed in the video. I'm pretty sure I was going crazy. It was fun.
Yeah, bro, it's cool, man. Like I said, it's like first taste of the NHL, and I was loving it. Like your support was nuts. Like this text, I was so fired up after the game to see all those texts and like see actually how it went down and stuff like that. But like it was, yeah, it was a special week. Like definitely one to remember. Like my first kind of taste of what it's like. I keep going back to that. It was just because it was such an outstanding camp and they did such a good job. But like, if if you don't have much more on it, like I want to reference like a terrible tragedy um,
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
happened this week. I mean, 3 young men passed away tragically from the WHL, the BCHL, and do you know where the other one played?
Delta Hockey Academy, I think it's called.
Oh, okay, yeah. So out west in Canada, and I'm pretty sure it was a car accident, right?
Yeah.
So just terrible to see, and our condolences and thoughts and prayers are with the families of the lost ones there. But no, it's just terrible to see, man. Like gone way too soon, and just but like I'm sure the hockey community is going to rally around them as we always do when certain events occur, such as this one. But just terrible to see, and I thought it'd be good to send our thoughts and prayers and just know that we're thinking about them for sure.
It's tragic, man. It's been tough to see that stuff when you see it on Twitter, hear about it wherever. It's was like kids with such a bright future, man. Whether it's hockey or not, it never gets easier to hear it. And then even I don't want to like keep it on a sad note, but bringing it back to when we had Caleb Dahlgren on and hearing it like about the Humboldt tragedy straight from him, it kind of just changed my perspective on everything because you hear things but you don't know the people, so it obviously affects you a little differently. And but man, hearing Caleb's story and then you just hear, there's people that played with these guys that love these guys, and it's just sad. So I don't know, man. Ever since that podcast, I've been thinking differently about it. Like I don't want to be all sad and stuff on the pod, but
Mhm.
yeah, we can kind of move on.
Yeah, I mean, onto a different topic that I know you definitely heard about because you keep up in the hockey circle in the world more than I do. Have you heard anything about the Arizona Coyotes with their arena and stuff like that?
I know that they're looking at moving right in downtown Phoenix.
Well,
Um,
yeah. So I don't think they renewed the contract. So I've heard rumors that they could be potentially moving, but I think Gary Bettman wants to keep them in there for like geographical like travel for the teams and stuff, and to keep a team in that area of the United States and stuff. But it'd be interesting to see if they do pull trigger and move in a few years or not.
well, yeah, I mean, you see the rumors like that Quebec could get the team and that sort of thing, which there's no doubt Quebec would be a sick place for an NHL team. They have a beautiful new rink there too, and an owner who can pay and wants it. And I mean, it's no secret like they'd support it better than Arizona would, right? Like, is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, no, like as much as the Coyotes do have like a decent fan base and everything, like there's no doubt like Quebec, man, like the fans are insane there. You can see just from the ramparts, like in
Dude, they
like
get 15, 16,000 at the Ramparts games.
yeah, like some games like fully sold out. It's crazy. So like just like if that happened, like the NHL comes there, it'd just be ramped up even more. And imagine their rivalry with Montreal and stuff. It'd be
Oh man.
insane, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I heard they're going right to downtown Phoenix. I think is that where the Suns play, right in Phoenix, the NBA?
I'm not too sure. I'm not a big NBA guy, but I'm sure if you did some digging, you're pretty good at figuring that stuff out. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll be able to report on that one next epi.
Yeah. I mean, we said last week, you promised last week that you're gonna do the Manscaped ad. So I think we can send it over to Ryan Winterton, but we gotta pump Manscaped here, and everyone's looking forward to you reading this thing. So let's have it.
All right, bud. Um, for everyone who doesn't know, this is kind of a long ad. I guess you all know. You've heard it before, but there's a lot of writing on here, and I don't know what I'm supposed to read and what I'm supposed to not. So if there's some hiccups, just don't judge me. Come on.
Everything's staying in though, yeah, the listeners. And I'll give you some credit before you even read this. When I screw up, unless it's like funny, I'll just cut it and I fix it in editing. But everything's staying in right now. So go ahead, let's see what you got.
All right. Attention, all listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their fourth generation brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, including me and Rast, and get your rocket ready for takeoff. Go to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND. Ready for an out of world experience, fellas? Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off not only in the US, but Canada, the UK, across Europe, Australia, South Africa, not Africa, and Singapore, our favorite country, as everyone knows. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver, ball deodorant, crop retriever toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. First scheduled for liftoff, new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. The spaceship is here to guide you on a journey to trim your body, balls, butt, and even your anus. This fourth generation trimmer also features a cutting edge ceramic, not Cremix, ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on off button switch. No, see, I was switching, like you sent me it on my phone, so I had to switch over to the second picture, so I lost what I was
Okay,
saying.
that's fair.
I just made one up there.
I'll
So
give you that one.
okay, yeah, where am I? All right. An on-off switch can engage a travel lock and is even waterproof. The Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 4,000K.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing to say. 4,000K LED spotlight you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels across the universe. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker, It's like having a little astronaut to chop your worst weeds in the top of your nose and ears. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses 9,000 RPM motor, a 360-degree rotary dual blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary.
There it is.
Man, haven't been to school in 2 years, eh? This is pretty good reading for me, actually. Proprietary skinscape technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Don't forget to use the crop preserver, ball deodorant, and their crop reviver to help your little planets be on their A game while feeling the sun's heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their performance package, the Manscaped Boxers and Travel Shed travel bag. Sorry, I knew that one for because Rask says it every week. About Harry Balls and Buzz Lightyear, that Woody with Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Showbound at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, fellas, and free shipping with the code Showbound. And for the ladies out there, you can definitely get your husband, your boyfriend. This is a great gift, so keep that in mind at manscaped.com. That's Showbound for 20% off at manscaped.com. For a clean trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you. And all the listeners will thank me for such an amazing Manscaped read. And now, with that being said, we can send it over to Ryan Winterton.
Wait. Can we break this down for a second first? Good job, first of all.
That's
I want to
pretty good,
say,
man.
although that was definitely the longest Manscaped read we had, it was probably the funniest one. So I think everyone enjoyed it. But I mean, you did a good job. You read, the only thing was your pace. Your pace was a little slow. That's it.
I was reading slow,
Mm-hmm.
buddy. That was like good reading for me. I was like pretty happy there. Like I'm a good student and everything, but I'm just not a fast reader in life. I don't like to read books, to be honest with you. But
You know, you're not gonna have to, man. You just got drafted by the San Jose Sharks, bro. Was
no,
there reading in the combine? I don't think so.
no, that wasn't there. So, but
Then you're
also
fine.
you gotta give me some credit. I'm reading this off my phone, like the font's in like size 6 font, and then I had to flip the screen to see the next photo. So I have a little maybe you know what we'll do? Maybe I'll give her another go next week. I'll print it out on a piece of paper and
Yeah, we'll probably get a
that's
new
what we'll
one
do.
sent to us too, and it'll keep things interesting.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
With that being said, we'll send it over to Seattle Kraken prospect Ryan Winterton.
Welcome to the pod this week. We got Wince. What's cracking, bro?
How are you guys?
Not too bad. Rask, you see what I did there with Kraken? Get it?
I don't know if it was that funny, but I respect it.
Yeah.
I actually stole that
Right.
one from Wince when he
Yeah.
posted his draft thing. I think he said something along the lines of that. So
I think I said like
without further ado, we got Ryan Winterton on the pod this year, fresh off being drafted to the Seattle Kraken, one of the first draft picks. Kind of just how cool is that?
Yeah. I didn't even really talk to Seattle before, so it was kind of crazy how it all turned out. And I was just kind of, looking at my phone. I don't know why my phone, my head was buried in my phone for some reason. And I got a couple texts, and then it was like, let's go. So that day was pretty cool, and that weekend was, something I'll remember for a while. So I'm sure the same with you, Cardsy. How was that?
Yeah, man, it was pretty special. I mean, me and Ras talked about it a bit a few episodes ago, but like everyone says, like I've been having guys on the pod here for a while that have just been like getting picked and stuff, and like it's crazy to like to hear the draft stories and stuff, especially for me after not going in my own draft. But it's such a sick feeling just to have your family and friends there too. But we're going to get back into some Seattle stuff in a bit. I know Rask got a bunch of stuff and the fans want to hear a ton about it too. But I kind of know what's going on with your summer, but you want to tell the listeners kind of what you've been up to this summer, what summer training's looking like?
Yeah, I'm skating 4 times a week right now, kind of consistent, and then working out 4 to 5 times a week. I'm in the gym, so we have a good group down here, and skating with Cardsy and a lot of those guys, Perfetti. So I'm excited to go back to Hamilton, and we'll see what we can do.
So I want to talk about your minor hockey. You played the Whitby Wildcats, had a dominant OHL draft year. I saw like 2 points per game or something ridiculous. You did end up getting selected 8th overall by the Hamilton Bulldogs. But before we even talk about that, Cardsy actually reminded me you played with Owen Brady. He was your captain, Oshawa Generals prospect. And
Yep.
can you just tell us the story with him for the listeners who don't know?
Yeah, man. That was tough, especially on like a friendship level. Take everything, hockey out of it, out of the picture. We always played on the same team, so he told us kind of what was going on before, and we were all well. He told the team, and he told a couple others before, and it was pretty tough to deal with at the time, especially just not knowing if your friend's okay or what he's doing. And then he had a 19-hour surgery to get a lump out of his leg. It was osteosarcoma, I think it was. And he was obviously done for the year for hockey, and that was our captain. A big piece, but we had to kind of rally around him. We had to make time for Owen and make sure he was all right and whatnot. So that part of it was, was a bit scary to deal with at the time. You're so young and stuff, but he's back in the gym now. We're going to the same gym, so he's working out with me. He looks good and he's back on the ice. He's playing for Pickering this year, so he's moving along just fine. And he'll probably I think highly of him. I think he'll play again. So
You guys rally around that, and you guys were like a wagon that season, right? Can you just tell us about on the ice how you guys did?
Yeah, we were pretty good. We played in the OMHA, so we were one of the better teams in the OMHA, so we were pretty. We'd get a lot of goals every night, so it was nice for points. I played with two line mates that are now both in Ottawa, Sarazati and Tommy Johnson, who were pretty good. I think Brendan had 93 and Tommy had just under me with 71, I think. So, our line just kind of connected from the get-go, and, it was pretty smooth sailing.
No, like, and going back to Brady quickly, like, I mean, he's a great kid. And like, I've skated with him a few times since Rask, and he's looking really good, man. Like, it's surprising, like, how far he's came. And just like, and this is one thing why I like the like NCAA, how you can go so late. Like, I think it's pretty cool. Like, I feel like OB will be the type of kid, like, tell me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but I feel like he could be the kid who would get like a 20-year-old, like, a scholarship then and to go play and like make a good comeback to his career.
Yeah, man, he's a smart kid too. So I could definitely, I think he's thinking that route now. So, that's pretty good to see. And yeah, again, he's a smart kid. So, I think he'll get an NCAA just fine. And then they can kind of, develop him over the years. And then hopefully, he plays in the NHL one day. I think that's still his end goal. So, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a hardworking kid, and maybe you'll have
Exactly.
to get him on the pod, Rask, because I'm sure we could talk for hours about his journey and stuff. It's pretty inspiring. But we'll get back to Wentz here. I mean, you go to Hamilton in your first year as an 8th overall pick, high expectations, play pretty well as a rookie, like 23 points in 53 games, solid season. How'd you find that adjustment period from minor hockey to the O?
Yeah, it was tough. As you know, Cards, I'm a pretty skinny guy. I don't have a lot of weight on my body. So I think coming in 16-year-old season, or I guess I was 15 at the time, and I was probably, 160. So, I was playing against guys that are a lot bigger, a lot stronger. So it was tough for the first, I'd say half a season. And then I kind of, found my step and then was good for the rest of the season. Once I got it figured out and kind of learned from a lot of guys there, I think Hamilton did a really good job of developing me throughout that year to make me a better player. And kind of, like I said, I'm excited to go back this year.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you're gonna be having a huge increased role, which a lot of people so like, which happens in the OHL, and the OHL is gonna be, everyone knows it's gonna be a little bit of a weaker league this year. So I think, like, for a guy like you especially, it's kind of like more leadership role. Actually, you only have 53 games, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be considered a veteran in the locker room a little bit.
Exactly.
But how much are you looking forward to, and what are you looking forward to about this year coming?
Yeah, man, just like you said, kind of being a leader on that team. I think going away to U18s was a big learning experience for me. Seeing a lot of the guys like Shane Wright, Brendan Othman, and how they kind of approach it. And same thing with, skates around when we skate Cards. And, you look at those guys and kind of how they approach the game and what they do, extra hard work, whatever it is. You kind of just you want to do the same thing. So, I'm looking to take that back to Hamilton, just the work ethic and, what it takes to actually win, as we won the tournament there in Texas. You gotta be all in on the team. So, I'm excited, like I said, to be kind of a leader on that team and kind of as you said, an increased role. I'm excited to play and get back to hockey with all the guys. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting. And when are you moving down there?
I'm going the 30th to Hamilton, and then we got camp till the I think 2nd to the 4th, and then we got a couple games against Oshawa. So
No, no.
that'll be good to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, get you back in motion and everything. And I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit right now. These ones are always tough to answer, but do you have any funny memories or like stories that you might be able to share from your first year in the O?
Oh man, might have to give me a sec here.
Here,
I mean,
let me tee you up a little bit because
Yeah.
Cards, we talked about this one a few weeks ago, but we were playing against Hamilton there, Barry, and when Callie ever whatever scored that lacrosse goal on Seelovs, you remember that one?
Yeah. I don't remember it on the bench for some reason. I might have been away at U17s or something, but I don't remember it on the bench. But I remember kind of looking back, whether it was that night or whatever it was, wherever I was, and kind of being like, holy crap. Like, but he's just that guy. Like he could, I bet you he does that at the next level too. He's just always finding a way to score and he's so good. So I'd never put it past him.
speaking about scoring, how long did it take you to get your first talk in the O?
One game. I think it was
Oh,
the third period. Well, again, Kaliev kind of walked everyone, and you should see it, Cards. He walked literally everyone, the goalie too, and I just come in the crease and I just poke in a loss, or he passed it out in the crease and I just tapped her in. So it was a pretty good play on Artie, and I'm glad he gave it to me.
yeah, that's not too bad. Get the monkey off the back early, get the confidence going. And it's nice when a veteran guy kind of does all the work for you, just puts it on the golden plate for you there.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, that was nasty. Hamilton had some sick import guys actually that season, but
Unique too, man. He was so good. It was ridiculous. Him and
yeah,
Artie were like, I don't know, maybe unique since he was older, but I just thought he was so good. Like the best player in the league for sure, in my eyes at least. Up until halfway to the season, he got hurt at World Jays. So, but he was unbelievable, man. It was
no, but
incredible.
you guys got my
My son,
sack my
yeah,
sack after that too, and he was gross too. And he
he's so
coming
good
back next
too.
year?
Yeah, I think I don't know if he's going up to the A, but he'll probably get sent back, I think. And then so he'll be on our team too, which will be nice.
couple sick Euros.
Yeah.
Um, I'm curious how you found Hamilton as a city when you were living there. I mean, big city. Some parts are a little bit dirtier than others, but like, how'd you like living there?
Yeah. I was kind of outside of the city. Obviously, I'm in Dundas, so it was a nice little town. So the living situation wasn't too bad. Just kind of, going to the rink every day, kind of seeing what's around there. It's pretty scary coming out of the rink sometimes, but right when you get in that rink, it's pretty much, high. They're treating you really nice. So I think, they did a good job of kind of developing me again last year. Just when you come in the rink, you kind of feel welcome. You kind of it's not like the city, so
Yeah,
coming to the rink is a bit nicer
yeah.
outside.
And I imagine you've seen the plans for the rink and the development in downtown. Like, how sick is that?
Yeah, I saw the mock of it and it was pretty cool. I think it was a smaller rink, fit like 5,000 or I don't know how much it fit, but
I think it's more.
um, yeah, it probably is more. But yeah, that'll be good. Kind of like a smaller rink, so we can pack the crowd a bit more. The rink feels a bit empty sometimes, but it's all good. We know
Yeah,
we know our fans. They're good fans, so
I
it's
was
no problem.
I was gonna touch on that just quickly because like, what is your rank hold? 18,000?
Yeah, man, it's 18,000, and then but the top bowl is usually blocked off with curtains and stuff. So then the bottom half probably fits around 10. I don't know, 8. I don't know what it would be,
Yeah.
but
So and what do you guys probably get like three maybe?
three, you have three,
Three.
yeah.
So yeah, it's what with three goes into 18 6 times. So it's
Yeah.
1/6 full. So I guess
Math
it does
guy
feel
Cards. Let's
a
go.
little bit quiet in there.
Except the school day game, which is absolutely
Oh my god,
ridiculous.
that was nuts.
That was against us, Cards.
Yeah,
Were you
all the
there
I
at
kids,
was
that
there.
point? Oh,
I
okay.
was there.
yeah, man, that was intense. All the kids just screaming, and it was crazy. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So
There
I
you
wanted to tell a funny Hamilton story that I remember. I hope you were here for this, Cards.
go.
Um,
No, man, no, I wasn't there.
ah, okay, yeah, you see it written down. But I was working for the Colts. That's where I met
Yeah,
Cardsy.
yeah,
We were pulling into Hamilton. It might have been the school day game. It probably was. And we went to, the Tim's like just outside the rink there.
Yeah, in the square, whatever, the mall there kind of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't the one in Marcus. Anyway, it was like right there. There was a
Okay,
Tim's.
okay.
We
Yeah.
we pull up to the Tim's, just everyone gets their coffee or whatever, and then we're going to the rink. And I remember someone on the bus was like, like shitting on Hamilton as a city, like calling it a dump and stuff. And at the same time, and one person was defending it. Maybe we had a local guy, I can't remember. And we look out the window at the Tim's, and there was these two homeless people naked making out with each other on the window of the Tim's, and then they turn around and flip off the Colts bus as we're driving by.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen anything as crazy as that, but yeah, there's some crazy people down there for sure. Yeah.
And bro, I want to
I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see that though. That's the thing.
That's actually jokes, Rask. I wish I was there for that on the bus. I would have been howling if I saw that. But you know what? I actually have a funny one too. So it was my first year, I think, in London. Yeah, and we're in London, and like, there was like, yeah, like, once again, like a homeless people on the side of the road, or I don't know if they were homeless or not, but like they were yipping us and stuff, and like the ladies were like, I'm pretty sure they threw iced coffees at the bus or something. And then some guy was trying to stab the tire of our bus and take out the bus. And we're all sitting in Tim's like, what's going on right now, man? And our plan was to take a walk to the rink, and we're like, there's no chance we're walking now. Everyone get back on that bus. Let's get out of here. Park inside and hide. Like we're in trouble if we stay here any longer.
I actually got a story from my training camp, my first year. I would have been probably within 7 days of being there. I was only there for a short amount of time, and then kind of we were eating. We were in the rink eating upstairs, and there was this lady who was on the other side of the fence, and I don't know, she was on something for sure, but she just kind of kept like it was a typical just like cracked up girl, what you'd see like climbing fences, punching people, like. And it was my first kind of taste of Hamilton. So there's no problems with them. They don't really bug you, but you just kind of look the other way and you're fine. But yeah.
Yeah, just take care of yourself. Get to the rink, get out of the rink.
Run if you have to.
Yeah, there's some wild things that happen, especially they're hometown heroes too, and they just love defending their city. Yeah. So if you get an away team in there, they're not having it with them. Yeah. So that's funny. But we'll talk about your second year technically. It never eventually ended up happening, as everyone knows, with the OHL shutting down. Were you ever considering going overseas?
Yeah, I talked with my agent, John, a couple of times about going overseas, but, I always thought that the season was going to start up. We always, kept, hoping that our season would actually start. So I think I was kind of just waiting for us to start, and then it kind of got too late to go at a point. So I was kind of stuck, but I was looking there. I just honestly thought that the season would have started, but whatever. I got a chance at the tournament, so I was grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that next. I think Rask has that one to talk about with you for sure, because that was a huge thing for your draft, especially too, just being able to get to showcase yourself. But like, can you tell the listeners, like, because a lot of people don't understand how much of a mental grind it was. Like, it's been a while since these guys have played hockey games. So like for you, like, what were you spending your time doing? Like, was it more like trying to get away from the game at times, like take a break, or was it like fully dialed and just working out the whole time? Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think kind of when our season stopped, it was kind of, we didn't know if it was going to start up again. I think they put us on 2-week notice if we were coming back. So I kind of, stayed up to shape there. And then kind of when it got pushed off, I kind of stopped again, try to, get out of the game a little bit, get out of the rink, get on the golf course or whatever it was, rollerblades. So I kind of did get away from the game a bit, but at the same time, I was always kind of, ready to come back. And whenever, lockdown would stop down here, I'd think I'd be back on the ice. So it never really stopped, but, I did, take a step back and kind of go outside of hockey, like I said, and play golf and, enjoy time with my friends and stuff. So it was nice.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, like how long was it between games from like Hamilton to the first game of the tournament for you? Do you know?
I think it was 9 months. Or it might have been over a year.
It was over a year for sure. When was the tournament?
A year and a bit. It was April 26th around there.
It's like 11 months,
Yeah.
12 months.
Yeah. So it's
No, like 13 months.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so it's
13.
just over a year.
Just over 13
Yeah.
months.
So
So
it
Wow.
was pretty tough coming back. Well, it wasn't tough. We were on a smaller ice to start the tournament, so it was kind of, I think, a bit easier, just with the kind of way my line was playing, and the smaller ice seemed to help a little bit. And then we ended up going over to another center, and it was the Dallas practice center, so it was a bit bigger, and I was pretty much adapted at that point, so it was pretty smooth sailing.
yeah, that's pretty sick. And like was because like me and Wentz have like this. We're in the same agency, the Will Sports Group. For those who don't know, well, I guess everyone didn't know that, but but yeah. So was Johnny like sending video out to like teams, or was like Hamilton, your coaches, sending video out and just like kind of talking on your behalf on how you've been going?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know. I'm sure there was so much people kind of, vouching for me on the behind the scenes that, I need to thank for, all their work that year. And I'm sure it was just as tough as it was for them as it was for me. So, I don't know if, I'm sure they did. Hamilton sent out, I know Steve was pretty up to date with, what was happening. He was vouching for me a lot, and so was everyone. So I got a lot of help throughout that process, which made it a little bit easier to find where I was sitting in the draft and, whatnot, and, U18s. But yeah.
Okay, so here's one. You talk about that, like finding where you're ranked and stuff. I'm just curious because until the U18s, you're just sitting there not playing. You're going off essentially your first year in the O. Are you watching as the draft rankings come out? You see you guys in the Q and the Dub in the States playing. Are you concerned watching your rank maybe slip or climb? How did that go?
Yeah, it's tough, especially like you said, the Dub and the Q are playing. So I think that was, the most, mad I think I was that, other CHL teams or leagues could play and we couldn't. But, I understand with the Ontario government or whatnot, we couldn't play. But, that sucked. But yeah, I think there was a weird thing that happened. I was ranked a C prospect. I think right when I came out of the season, it would have been their first draft ranking, and then I hadn't done any games or I hadn't gone anywhere to play hockey. Just kind of the pond near my house, and I got ranked up to a B. So that was kind of just cool to see how they did video and they realized, maybe I deserved a B. So I think that was, a glimpse of hope in throughout the process. And then, ended up getting picked to that tournament, and then that ended up helping me as well.
Hey, Wentz had NHL Central Scouting come into his backyard pond
That's
watching
what I
you
was thinking.
That's what
run
you're thinking,
drills.
man. I don't. I think well, obviously it was video, but maybe they came and watched me on the pond. Who knows?
You guys had enough bodies out there. You had a little 5-on-5
We had a
game.
lot, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're dedicated.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need in a season like that. But yeah, we've talked about the U18s a bunch. Let's get into it. As you mentioned before, but in case any listeners slipped, you won gold there for Team Canada, and also probably the most hyped U18s ever, as far as I can remember. Just with again no OHL, and a lot of people just wanted to watch that. So tell us about your time down there in Texas.
It was so cool. It was probably, I always say this, it was obviously the best hockey experience I've been a part of. Just with kind of, going there, not knowing a lot of guys and coming out with, lifelong friends who, you can hit up at any time to hang out down here or, shoot the shit about. So, just on a, not hockey level, meeting friends and stuff, it was an awesome experience. And then you add kind of winning a gold medal for your country, and in that atmosphere was it was something I'll remember for a long time for sure.
What was the pressure like on you knowing, I mean, we've talked about this a bit, but knowing you haven't played games, all the scouts are there to see these OHL guys. So was there a lot of pressure you put on yourself for that?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous, but I kind of, like I said, had a good group of supporters behind me. My parents were good to me, all my friends, my agents. So I kind of knew what to expect. And then I remember sitting in the hotel. We didn't play the first game. It was an exhibition game, I think, between Finland and Sweden. And my parents were watching the game, and they sent me pictures of the stands, and it was just filled with scouts. So that was my first little taste of it, and I was a bit nervous after that, seeing all the scouts, but right when you're kind of on the ice, you kind of forget about all that stuff. So, it slipped my mind pretty quick when I was out there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty intimidating. Um, everyone wants to know what Connor Bedard was like. And Cards, what was the nickname that Clarkey gave him when he was on?
Chubbs.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think it was Chubbs. I don't know, but they got after him a little bit for. He's just built. He's built as a little guy. Like he's. I don't know how tall he is. 5'10", 5'9", 5'8". I don't know, but he's pretty built at a young age. So I don't know. They like to get on him for. I don't know. Maybe having a little more weight on his body, but he's a great guy, great teammate. And then you guys all saw what he did on the ice, especially in the semis. Against Sweden. That was a pretty cool game for him. And pretty cool game to be a part of on the bench.
Yeah, no, he's like ridiculously skilled. It's not weird with the age difference because he was like way younger than you guys. Did anyone like maybe a little power dynamic just bury him a little?
No. Guys obviously gave him a little bit of a hard time. Just kind of being, 2 years younger than a lot of us. But no, he fit in pretty quick with the group of guys. He's a pretty relatable guy, and he's a good guy to get along with. So. He's a good kid, and he's got a bright future for sure.
Yeah, well, doesn't take too much to be able to figure that one out.
Exactly.
He's dirty, man. Just seeing some of his highlights and stuff. Yeah. And I just want to know, like, because I never even asked you this, I don't even think. But what was it like? Was it like full bubble? You guys getting tested all the time? Like, you kind of just take us through like the dynamic of how it was set up and everything.
Yeah, so we got, obviously had a quarantine 7 days before, or I think it was 5 days before we left. We needed 3 negative procedures, and then we kind of were able to fly off on the plane to Texas. So that part was, I think, the toughest, just quarantining. And then we got to Texas, and it was the same thing. Yeah, bubble. You were pretty protected, doing COVID tests a lot of the days, probably, every 2 days you're doing a COVID test. So, that part's not fun, but you kind of understand, and it comes with, what you're doing at a high level. So, it was pretty easy to follow all the procedures. It wasn't too bad. So, it was a good time.
I'm just curious, like last one on this, put you on the spot again, but you have any funny memories or stories? Like there has been something funny that went on maybe in practice or something that needs to be shared here.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm not kidding when I say this. First practice, all the guys were doing one-on-ones, and Shaner steps up to do a drill, and Del Mastro's going against them. And it's a weird drill. It's like a one-on-one, and you're kind of picking up speed around the dots. And so Shaner was kind of picking up speed, and Del was picking up speed at the same time, coming kind of at each other. And then Del just leans into Shane, like no remorse, just try to hit Shane. So Shane it looked pretty bad, honestly. Shane kind of, fell a little bit, tripped. I don't know what he did, but, all the boys after that were just going up to Shane, like, man, like, are you right? Are you right? Like, how you doing? And then they're going up to Del, like, what are you doing, man? Like, figure it out. Captain, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, he's going after the best player in the world. He's like, yeah, you know what? Like, the tournament starts in a few days. Let me just take out our.
We needed to get ready. It wasn't. It was probably good, but I don't know. Just not that guy. He could have done it to anyone else. He could have done it to me or someone, but.
Little wake up call for Shaner though. He dialed in. So.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Well, actually, like I kind of want to know a little bit about like the feeling of winning gold. Like, how crazy was it when you kind of like saw those last kind of final seconds ticking down on the clock?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Obviously, I've done it before, Ome Chase, but I think kind of going to that big stage there's nothing really like it. So I can't really even really explain it, to be honest. I'm sure you've won before, Cardsy. It's probably just like that, a bit more hype though. I couldn't scream too much because I didn't have any more voice left. So. It was pretty cool, just that the whole game being down 1-0 at the start of the game, and then Bedsy having the penalty shot and then scoring right after. It was a pretty cool game, a lot of emotions for sure. And then, obviously grateful that we ended up winning that and going home with the gold.
Yeah, for sure. And humble brag there. Hey, Rask, he goes,
had to drop OMHAs, yeah.
I've won before, but this one was good.
This one was different.
Not a big deal for our Dubs. He does it all the time. It's just routine. It's routine by now. And we'll get into the draft because a lot of people want to know what it's like about getting drafted to Seattle. And I know me and Rask made jokes about it probably since we found out that Seattle was going to be a team and I was still like on the market to be picked. And we always were like, oh, like you might go to the Kraken, like blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And Rask would always be like, yeah, they're just going to be giving out contracts too. So like, I guess we can get right into that now since we actually have a guy here that is officially a part of the Seattle Kraken. So like you get taken in the third round of the Kraken. Would you go 66th overall?
67, I think it was.
Okay, so pretty close I am anyway. Do you want to just take us through the draft day? And like I know you kind of mentioned it, you were buried in your phone a little bit, but like
Yeah.
just the day overall, like how did it start? And then like the moment you were picked, like what was the reaction in the house?
Yeah, so I started just kind of, I think it was at 11 or 12, wasn't it? And then kind of just, sitting there with my family. My grandparents were over, my girlfriend, my brother, everyone kind of, it was close to me. And then we were kind of just sitting there waiting. Obviously watched the Friday night and, saw a couple of my buddies pick. So that was awesome. And then, was excited, waking up, a bit nervous, a bit anxious. And then kind of, you see guys go and you're like, oh, that could have been me or whatnot. But you know how it is, cards. And then, obviously I was buried in my phone. I don't know why. I just kind of had enough of seeing the TV for a bit. So then a buddy of mine, Avery Hayes, on my team, gave me a text and it was like, let's go, all in caps. And so I kind of was like, oh, like maybe something happened. And then my agent was on the phone with my dad and he's like, oh, like Seattle, let's go. I look up and it's Seattle. So that was a pretty cool moment and a lot of emotions again. And, seeing my parents cry and, I was pretty happy myself. So it was an awesome day.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And like I know you mentioned earlier you didn't have a lot of contact with Seattle. Did you even talk to them at all?
There might have been a phone call. I don't remember it, but not a lot is what I'm trying to say. Just I didn't have any Zooms. I didn't talk to him, but I was talking to Blake Murray about it, and he said the same thing. He's like, usually you go to a team you don't even talk to. So it was pretty cool that it ended up being Seattle, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, get great advice from Mur. We love Mur. Mur's a former guest on the pod, so the fans love Mur as well. And then we got written down here like, what are your thoughts on being drafted by a team that's never played a game? Like at the time, they had just figured out who was coming to their team from the expansion draft, and then you kind of get funneled into the organization as the second ever forward drafted. So like, what were your thoughts on all that? Trying to process this.
Yeah, I was watching the expansion draft on the Wednesday, and I was just thinking, kind of, in my seat on the couch, wherever I was, how cool it would be just by the water, the West Coast, and then, obviously, being, one of the early picks on the team, and not having a lot of prospects. So, I think if you told me before, that would have been the ideal place to go. So, I think that was a pretty cool moment that it was Seattle, and then yeah. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, you guys will be having some battles on the West Coast in the years to come for our Showbound listeners to see.
Yeah.
So that and myself to watch. That would be sick. But honestly, Seattle, and I want to get into the contract thing in a minute, but probably the sickest place to get drafted to because, well, one, their rink is maybe going to be the nicest rink in the NHL.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Two jumbotrons. I've never seen it before.
And they're triangular, which is like, and they're curved. No, it's cool. It's all like zero carbon footprint and stuff too, which is kind of sick. But all about Seattle is good, and the fans are gonna love it. It's no doubt a good hockey place, so that's gonna be sick. But yeah, the contract thing, like Cardsy said, I've been saying this for so long. You saw it happen with Vegas. I don't know if they signed all their prospects from the first draft, but they signed most of them. I know like their 7th rounder got signed that year. So you just have a bit of an advantage just in the sense of a contract. They have to fill roster spots. They have to fill an AHL team. So have they talked to you about a contract at all yet?
No, nothing really yet. Kind of waiting to see. Maybe at camp, who knows? I'm not really, worried about it. I think it'll come if it'll come. Maybe it's in Hamilton when I come back to Hamilton or at camp. Or it doesn't happen. We'll see. But I think I'm in a good place with Seattle, and I'm excited.
So if you do sign, when I want to say when, but if you do sign, do Do you have any like dream purchases or anything you're kind of waiting to buy?
I think just golf clubs. I just want fitted golf clubs, and then probably just a new set that I'll keep for years. So I think that's my go-to if I sign.
Okay.
Yeah, what a great place to start. Rdubs, you're actually not a bad player. I've heard. I've never played with you, but the boys
Yeah,
say,
no, we gotta get out cards.
yeah,
I know.
you can get it
I'm
around.
okay. I think I'm a +8, so or I'm an 8. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say +8. That'd be aggressive. Guys
Yeah.
shooting 63, 64 every round now, but like, yeah, I've heard you keep up in the money matches out there with the boys.
Yeah.
Going back to Seattle, I'm just curious too. I mean, you say not a lot of contact before the draft, but after the draft, what sort of things are they saying to you?
Yeah, kind of right after the draft, Ron Francis called me and he just pretty much, said, welcome. We're happy to have you. Then obviously the media came later that day. And Gary Roberts is reaching out to me, about training camp and stuff. So, there's a lot of support in that organization. I can already feel it kind of when they text me and, I think they, you can tell they care about us players. So, I'm excited for the future, like I said, and I'm happy that Seattle is going to be developing me for the next couple of years.
Yeah. There's you know what? There's legends in that organization when you think. I mean, Gary Roberts, everyone knows, and that's a sick guy to be training with too when you get there. But Ron Francis is honestly he's one of the best NHL players in history. He's up there. Like,
Sure.
what's it like kind of getting a call from that? Do you realize how good he is? Like, I know
Yeah.
he's young and
Well,
stuff.
I obviously never saw him play or anything, but you obviously know how good he is just by how people talk about him and highlights and whatnot. So and obviously stats and stuff. So it's pretty cool, obviously, to get selected, by Ron Francis, knowing that he kind of trusts me to be on his team, trust me inside of the rink, outside of the rink. I'm ready to kind of pick his brain a little bit when I get down there about maybe some past memories or whatnot.
I'm just curious, kind of last one on the draft stuff. But did anyone for like two-part question? Did anyone on the team, even though the team was just made like a couple days before, anyone on the team reach out to you and any just notable people call you or text you, anything like that?
No, I wouldn't say so. Just a lot of family, friends. No Wiz Khalifa like I know what happened with Byfield. But yeah, just a lot of family and friends. So it was good.
We
Yeah,
had Cole Sillinger on like two episodes ago, and he said Nathan McKinnon called him after he was drafted, and he wasn't
Really,
drafted. He was drafted to Columbus.
yeah,
really.
that was crazy. But yo, the reason probably though, man, it makes sense though because like who like they don't even like they got the team made like what is it 3 days
Yeah,
before the
Like
draft.
yeah, like 2 or 3
Like
days.
they don't have like Giordano's going to be the captain, but like they don't have a captain or something who's like used to like meeting the prospects and everything. So I
yeah,
They
think
don't even know each other yet. They're probably all calling each other like they were
yeah,
teammates.
yeah, honestly, man, like R-Dubs could have been the one calling Giordano saying welcome to the squad. Like yeah, at that point, realistically. Um, I mean, we don't have too much left for you, but we got our weekly fan questions here for you. So always some exciting ones in this list. So we always start off with what stick do you use and what specs and the tape job.
yeah. I go grip tape at the top, and then kind of almost a sock, but not. I don't go up as high. I just kind of cover the whole blade with white tape. I use a Jet Speed 3. What is it? Is it a Jet Speed 3? I think it is, right?
FT3 maybe?
FT3.
Yeah.
FT3, yeah. I use that with a P28, a little bit raised blade, and then it's nipple grip. So yeah,
What flex?
80 flex.
80 flex, and this guy's got a rocket too. Rask, you never seen his snapper. He gets it off quick. I mean, everyone saw it at the Worlds there when you came in and ripped one first game. I was fired up. Saw that.
Yeah.
Favorite card game if you got one?
I like blackjack.
Gambling man, but Snapchat or Instagram?
Uh, Insta probably.
Okay. One song that always gets you fired up.
Oh, probably. Um, I don't know. Probably some Nickelback or Nirvana. I don't know.
Nice, yeah,
I don't have a song. Just kind of get something going, get a high beat going, get some rock. I'm into it.
yeah. It gets you
Cards,
amped.
what's yours? You got a song that gets you fired up?
Bro, I listen to a lot of like old songs. Like
Yeah.
I'll listen to 90s, 80s rap too that gets me going. Like I love BIG,
Yeah.
um, all the boys. Like I mean all the old like Tupac, all that stuff. I love that stuff before games, but I don't know. It differs for everyone. But next one, pregame meal.
I don't really have a go-to, but my preferred would probably be like I don't know, pasta, carb up before I get out there.
Yeah.
I love my pasta.
Keep you ready to go on the third.
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, because we were interested, I know you have a girlfriend, but celebrity crush.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably like uh Kylie Jenner. I don't know. Pretty typical one, but
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
fair
Who's
enough.
yours, Cardsy?
Um, Margot Robbie, I'd say, yeah, I think I said that one on the pod before.
Rask, what about you?
Mine, I mean, it kind of changes, but it's hard to stay away from Selena Gomez, man. She was
Yeah.
ever since I was a kid, like watching Wizards of Waverly Place. Like she's always been my celebrity crush.
Yeah, you were eating it up as a young child, Raz. You were all over it. Loving her.
That's awesome.
But no, that's all we got for fan questions. Rask, if you got anything else here?
I just got one more. I'm just curious if you have any like superstitions or rituals on a game day.
No, just kind of. I usually go out on the ice and kind of. I don't put my feet on the ice, but like I'll go out there and stick handle on the ice before I get out there. But that's normally it. That's just what I have to. That's the only thing I have to do before I head out there. Otherwise, I'm good.
Okay. I mean,
Pretty simple.
yeah, that's
Nice and quick.
pretty much all I have. I mean, this was a fun one. I think this is a good interview. The fans are gonna like it. And you actually, I want to say, Vince, you speak really well. So this
Thank you.
was a good interview, and I think the Kraken got a good one. Maybe you'll invite me and Cardsy out to a Kraken game. I would love.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll have the boys down.
Yeah,
We'll get a live podcast going from the
Yeah.
dressing room.
We'll get it going.
We were pumped too because like I was sitting at home like today and Rask is like, who should we get on? He's like, do we know anyone in the Kraken organization? I'm like, well, yeah, I do. I know him well. I'll text him right now. I'm sure it shouldn't be a problem to get him on within the next 10 minutes. And here we were, like legit 20 minutes after we talked on
I was sitting on Warzone and you text me. I'm like, why not? Let's go.
Now you gotta buzz over to Corny Skate.
Yeah,
Just keep improving on your craft. But I mean, no, like super glad you came on, took the time and made it so seamless for us. But yeah, just thanks again. And we really appreciate it. And yeah, if I don't see you before camp, best of luck this year. And I'll make sure to give you guys a beat down in Hammer this year.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
All right, I want to thank Vince for that one. It was a good interview. He's a good speaker, like I said, and just pretty cool hearing about the Kraken, man. I'm a Kraken fan. I've said this on the podcast. The Leafs have been letting me down. I'm going to still be a Leafs fan, but I'm going like full swing on the Kraken. I should have told him that, but hopefully he's listening to the episode. So let's go. I'm a Kraken and Ryan Winterton fan now.
Yeah, definitely add that one to the collection of favorite players now too for you. But no, it was a good interview. He's a great player. He's a good kid too. Like I've hung out with Vince for a while now, and just kind of hear about his draft and like Seattle and everything. Like man, it's a sick opportunity going to that, and we've referenced it so many times before. So I'm just super happy for him and glad he took the time and made it so easy for us to make this podcast happen this week. And yeah, it was pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was sick. And like you said in the interview, like we picked the guest and then within 10 minutes we're on the Zoom just interviewing him. It was pretty sick. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of all I really have. It's been a good week as we mentioned at the beginning. We have a busy week with some exciting opportunities and some other things going on. So we'll look out for us making big moves, I guess, away from the podcast. But you want to wrap it up here, Cards?
Yeah, we definitely got an exciting week ahead. I mean, you got your Brock team kind of settling into to your season. You got to do a lot of work with that. I know you're super busy in that sense, and I'm going back to OHL camp as a older guy now, as a presence in the veteran, as in the locker room. So
could have a C, man.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know, but I'm just looking forward to being that leader on the team and just kind of taking the young guys under my wings. So I'm sure I'll be able to elaborate more on that next week when I'll be in the heat of the OHL camp. So I'm looking forward to that, man. as we mentioned, I'm gonna have to figure out a new setup at my new billet's house. But as we do always, we're gonna make it work for the fans. And with that being said, we got about 20 seconds left on this Zoom call, so I'm gonna
Oh, you
send
just gave
off.
away for listeners that we're on the free version of Zoom.
Yeah, no, we're too cheap right now. Once we sign a big deal, then we'll get the legit Zoom going. But with that being said, have an amazing week. Buy the real version of Zoom. Don't use the freebie one unless you want to be beauties like us. But it's gonna be great weather. It's very hot out, so wear your sunscreen and just enjoy yourselves, everyone.